Hey, thank you for joining me. Welcome everybody to the Ox Sports Podcast. Do me a favor before I get started. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for me, hit that notification bell. Let you know when I'm dropping new content. I would appreciate it. It really helps me and the channel out. All right, let's get started. Michigan, Arkansas State. What are your thoughts? Let's go over a couple things first. Arkansas State. 140 yards passing by Jalen Rayner. Really nothing on the ground game. Devin Spencer was their leading running back, 7 carries for 28 yards. Really nothing there. We did have a running attack today. Ran for over 300 yards, led by Khalil Mullings. 15 carries for 158 yards, 2 touchdowns. Donovan Edwards, 17 carries for 82 yards. He had a touchdown. Alex had 27 yards rushing. Ben Hall, 20. Passing game, Davis Warren, 11 for 14, 122 yards, 3 interceptions. All right, let's start there. If you've looked at my videos before, you understand how I feel about the Michigan passing game, and you understand how I feel about Davis Warren. I feel that we have seen what we're going to see from Davis Warren. I feel he's not a quarterback that he can't win you the game. He can definitely lose it, and I don't think he can manage it that well either. The 3 interceptions against Arkansas State, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous, especially when you run for 300 yards and you still throw 3 interceptions. The one, Coach Moore said that his elbow was hit, and it did look like it on the replay. So it still goes against him. But, you can kind of forgive that one. It's kind of hard because they were going in to score before halftime. The other 2 was just terrible plays. Just terrible plays. It's like, what are you doing? Why did you throw that ball? What did you see for you to actually throw that ball instead of just running or taking the sack or throwing the ball away? You live to see another play. But instead, this is what we see. This is what we see. It's a reoccurring theme. Happened last week, happened this week. We see what Davis Warren is. What we really haven't seen is Alex Orji until today. He did not play a lot, which I was not happy about. But when he did get in, he looked okay. Offense seemed to flow, and he made good decisions. He's only had a couple passing plays, but he made good decisions. The one double move where he was throwing the ball to Freddie Moore kind of got away from him, but it seemed like on the telecast they said that Fred Moore had actually stopped running. So if that's the case, that's not on Alex. That's on Freddie. The other RPO plays, they look good. I'm telling you, I really think that this was supposed to be an RPO offense. I really do. And I think somehow Davis Warren got the starting nod and things had to change up. Because the RPOs don't look bad when they do run them. Khalil Mullings, he's pushing Donovan Edwards for that starting role. He is. Khalil Mullings looks very good. Even running inside the tackles, where that's one of Donovan Edwards' weakness. So running in between the tackles, his other is vision. He just does not have good vision. He doesn't. I think Donovan is more of a very good explosive football player. As far as a running back, man, you need vision. And in a lot of his touchdown runs, if the play isn't called for him to be outside, he doesn't get there unless he's forced. And I'm talking about after he's already ran up the middle and he's been pushed to the outside. I don't think I've seen Donovan Edwards do a jump cut in 2 years. I'm being honest with you. I like Ben Hall. Ben Hall looks very good. To me, when they run Donovan, they need to run Donovan a couple times like they did today. Run him outside of the tackles and around the edges. Throw the ball to him. Put him in the slot. Michigan doesn't run too many screen passes anymore to the running back. I don't know why. They run a lot of quick screen, not a lot, but they run quick screens. As far as the old school running a screen, especially when they have 6 and 7 in the box, I think that would be an effective play, but Michigan just doesn't do it anymore. The running game did look good today. It's supposed to. It's Arkansas State. It's supposed to. So even with me not feeling confident as far as how they look today, I'm glad that the running game did look like it did. There was progress there. So that's a positive because, it could have been they played today and they only had 150 yards rushing. So it seems like that some things got fixed, but you can't take a lot from it because it's Arkansas State. I tell you what, when Alex is in there, we're more dynamic. We are more dynamic when Alex is in there. And I think Orgy should get the start this week coming up against USC because it gives the defense something to think of. And you see when you run that kind of offense, you end up with wide receivers downfield that are wide open. So that's going to be interesting to see how Coach Moore handles that situation, because when they interviewed him after the game, it seemed like he was a little frustrated at Davis Warren, and he should be. You shouldn't be beating Arkansas State 28-18 when you have USC coming up, coming off of a loss against Texas. You got to look better than what you did. Wide receivers look good when they got a chance. And like I've been saying, you got to trust your wide receivers. You have to give them plays. But then again, you can't have your quarterback throwing the ball anywhere he wants to throw it. That can't happen. We saw Colston Loveland get hurt. Hopefully everything is okay with him. I believe it was his wrist, his hand. But hopefully he's able to play next week because we're really going to need him next week. He's going to be an important piece, especially with our quarterbacks not being experienced. No, we need him. We're gonna need Colston this week coming up. As that security blanket. We're gonna need that. So hopefully during the week we can get it taken care of. It's nothing serious. Hopefully it's nothing serious. Donovan 17 carries, 82 yards. Khalil 15, 153. Running game looked good. It looked good. There were still plays where holes were missed, but it looked good. But it's Arkansas State. So we saw progress in the running game, but did not see it in the passing game. Did not. Hopefully we saw Alex gain confidence and his coaches give him a chance. And if Alex struggles, then you put Tuttle in. We've seen Davis Warren. We've seen him against a top 3 team, an elite team in Texas, looked horrible. Seen him against a good team, an average team in Fresno State, he didn't look good. Seen him today against a team who's not good. In my opinion, they're not. The talent gap is through 3 interceptions. 2 his fault. That is going to be a problem, especially when the defense is playing like they're playing. I understand it was garbage time. They got a touchdown, a 2-point conversion. It was 28-10. Arkansas State. This defense does not look like the same defense, scheme-wise, that we've been running the last 3 years. And we have the godfather of that defense calling the plays. The defense is undisciplined. It looks like that they don't know how to read their keys. They're not in places. Well, hold on. Before I say they're not in places they're supposed to be, there are times when the coach is calling blitzes, which I don't understand why you're being so aggressive. With 5 and 6 people, you're blitzing 6, you're not getting there. So people are leaking out to areas where we have nobody because the person that's supposed to or would be in that area, you got them blitzing. Why are we blitzing so much? Let's see what the front 4 can do. This is not the NFL. In the NFL, guys understand coverages better. They're better one-on-one. Another thing they don't do a lot in the NFL is miss tackles, which our defense is horrible at right now. They can't tackle anybody the first time. First guy hardly ever gets him down. And we have not been used to that the last 3 years. The last couple of years, Michigan has been an excellent tackling team. This year, this team is not good at it. They're not. A 5-yard out, 5-yard slant, 5-yard dig turns out to be a 7, 8, 10, 15-yard gain. Because lots of times the second guy is missing the tackle. I don't understand what's going on in practice as far as tackling. We're coming up. We're being undisciplined. We're not breaking down. We're launching at these offensive players. We got our head down while we're launching. That's coaching. That's reps. You got so many guys that's out there trying to lay a big stick on somebody, but you're missing the guy. Just because the hit sounds loud don't mean it's a good hit, especially when he keeps going. You got guys fighting for interceptions. You got guys just dropping interceptions. And it all goes back to coaching. It goes back to coaching. It shows you, even though we're running the same scheme and we have not necessarily players who started last year, but we have players who played a lot in this system who look great. They're playing this year. They're dropping interceptions. They're fighting over interceptions. They're coming up, launching, not looking at what they hit. They're missing tackles. They're not in their designated areas they're supposed to be in the zone. And it looks like they can't stay with their man in man. When you lose position coaches, it makes a difference. It's the same scheme. It's the same guys that were coming in that were number 2s last year. Had a lot of time. on the football field. They look like they don't know what they're doing. Position coaches. I do not like the way the defense tackles at all. They look horrible. Some of Texas touchdowns, a couple of them last week because of missed tackles. And then for some reason, we cannot contain the quarterback in the pocket. We can't. Either we miss him or our ends, they're not containing and they're rolling out, making plays. They're stepping up in the pocket, running down the field, getting the first down. Like these are simple coaching fixes. This is the third game and it's not fixed. You had it all summer. It's not just magically going to happen. You got to go through growing pains now. And with the schedule that we got, that's not a good recipe, man. This defense seems so undisciplined. So undisciplined. And then it seems like that they don't understand down and distance. I don't understand how we're giving up 3rd and 10s, 3rd and 15, 3rd and 20. If it's not a penalty, it's because the guys are wide open. I don't understand how if they need 5 yards, 7 yards for a first down, we're 10, 15 yards off the man. I don't understand how if they have 2 wide receivers to the left or to the right, we got one guy playing up on him and then another guy 10 yards back. They throw a quick screen out and it's an automatic 6, 7 yards before the guy gets there to make the tackle. And half the time he's missing the tackle. Defense did not look good today. Offense scored 7 points in the second half against Arkansas State. 7 points. It is what it is. And we got too many people just settling for it. 7 points. And think about it. They missed 3 field goals. I believe their quarterback threw an interception in the end zone. 2 of them hit the upright. They lost by 10. A couple plays here or there, and things may be different. And when you play Arkansas State, you shouldn't be able to say a couple plays here or there, things could have been different. What you should be saying is, yeah, man, a couple plays, if it turned, out with a different, different solution, we still would have won by 30, 35. This team does not look good. There was a standard set the last 3 years of Michigan football. Tough on defense. Tough. Taking it personal. No first downs. No points. Being sound. And they are the furthest from that right now. With USC coming in, USC is like Texas. We really didn't get to the quarterback today. I don't know. I don't know. Do you really feel better? Michigan fans, do you really feel better going into the game against USC after watching them today? Even though they had 300 yards rushing, do you feel better? I don't. If I had to pick a winner now, I would say USC is probably going to win the game. Michigan does not look good. The running game looked better, supposed to Arkansas State. Everything else was just, it was the same or it was just bad. And it goes back to coaching. It goes back to the captains on the team. Who was going to step up and be examples like they should? Who's going to step up and make these guys be accountable? Because until that happens, it doesn't look like that the coaching staff can do anything. Will Johnson, you need to say something. Donovan Edwards, you need to say something. Colston Loveland, you need to say something. Makari Page, you dropped the interception or two today. Mr. Tackle, you need to say something, no. You normally do good. It's going to be interesting this week coming up. USC coming in with firepower. And that defense is not as soft as was advertised. It's not. I understand we need time to grow. I do. But it's got to be quicker than what we're doing. And changes need to be made. Alex needs to start at quarterback. You gave him a little playing time today. He looked good. The long pass, like I said, I don't think that was on him. They said Fred Moore stopped running. He looked good in everything else. We have to have another dynamic in the backfield. And Davis Warren is not he's nothing about him says dynamic. It says game manager, and he's not good at that. He makes bad decisions. I don't care about your 18 for 22. You had 3 interceptions. You had no touchdown passes against Arkansas State. So if it's truly every week a competition, like Coach Moore has said, then either our depth is not as good as I thought it was, or that's not true, because some of these guys that starting shouldn't be starting. The linebackers got to play better. Barnum, it's been a lot of praise heaped on him. It's not showing up on the field. Hausman's got to play better. So, we'll see. We'll see how the week transpires. Hopefully, like I said, Colston Loveland is okay. I like to see more Ben Hall. I think he did a good job in when he got in. Khalil is probably going to have more carries than Donovan this week coming up, and he should. But also, coaches, man, call better plays. Put your guys in the best position for them to win. That's what you do. When Donovan Edwards is in the game, stop running him between the tackles. Run him outside the tackles, run him around the edges, or have him in for screen passes, send him out for a route, do something. Because he's a mismatch. But only if you make him a mismatch. Alex Orji is a mismatch. Only if you make him a mismatch. Colston Loveland is a mismatch. We have good wide receivers. Just got to use them. And on the defensive side, stop blitzing so much. We've got a good front four. You're blitzing and you're taking guys out of areas where they're throwing the ball when the blitz comes. Guys are wide open because guys that should be there are blitzing. So when they throw the ball to that area, our guys are coming up trying to make the tackle. They're not breaking down. They're missing the tackles. And USC is going to be like Texas. With Fresno State and Arkansas State, hey, the guy makes one guy miss. Okay, the guys rally around him. Tackle is made. Against Texas, made one guy miss, made two guys miss, he's gone. Against USC, make one guy miss, make two guys miss, he's gone. You got to get it straightened out. Play-based defense, Coach Wink. When the guys are thinking too much, they're not as fast. You don't want players thinking, you want players reacting. That's when guys are at their best. You're doing too much. You need to bring some stuff down. Take some stuff away from your defense. Stay in the base defense. And with our athletes that we have and with the speed that we have, we can play better. More pressure doesn't necessarily mean better. This is not the NFL. Guys are more sound. Their assignment, they're more sound in their assignment in the NFL. This is college. Let's work on that. I really believe we have good defensive players. I don't know what they're being taught, but it needs to be taught better. And then we need to stop taking our players out of positions. And this crazy rotation that Coach Wink, it was better today. It was better today because Will was on the field most of the day. But stop that rotation stuff. Stop it. Play the best guys. When they need a break, take them out the game. Stop that rotation stuff. So, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I don't feel better, guys. I don't feel better watching them play against Arkansas State with USC coming in. I don't feel better. I'm glad that the running game looked more fluent. It looked better. You know what I'm saying? Like, there wasn't a whole bunch of tackles being broke. The running backs didn't have to do a whole bunch. Like, they ran through holes. Of course, Khalil made a couple people miss. And, it looked more fluent. Like things were coming together. And it will look better. But it takes time. And in the meanwhile, bring Alex in, run them RPOs, because the play action passing with Alex is going to be crazy. And he will hit those passes. Just give him time. Give him time. He threw in the spring game. Give him time. But you put another dynamic person back there. Now you can run runs with the quarterback. If you're doing a quarterback sweep, now you got another blocker because the running back now turns into a blocker. Help that offensive line out. They look better today. But we a lot of work this week, or it's going to be a bad next week, offensively and defensively. Stop with the foolish penalties. I understand some of them look, terrible. That wasn't a hands to the face. He had him by the shoulder pad. And I don't know too much on the roughing the quarterback, because at the angle that they showed, they didn't show him throwing the quarterback down. What they showed was him wrapping him up. So, just the discipline with the penalties and the missed tackles and the not being where you're supposed to be in your assignment, sometime because of you, sometime because of the call, because of the blitz. Got to get better. Stay in base. Just stay in base and play football heads up. Our athletes against your athletes. Who's better? So, but I'm rooting for him, man. I'm rooting for him. Let's just hope some of those changes are made. And, let's look better. Let's look better this week. Hopefully, Coach Moore can get things going. But hey, man, I'm going to tell you how it is. There's a standard set here. We're defending national champions. When Alabama loses people to the NFL, when Georgia loses people to the NFL, when Ohio State loses people to the NFL, all these other top teams, man, they come back with competent people. Competent people, especially at the quarterback spot. Competent people. It's okay to lose people to the league. You're a good team. You're a big program. But the guys behind, they got to be competent. And it's silly stuff that can be fixed that will take us from here back to here. It's coaching right now. Coaches get it fixed. Hey, once again, thank you for joining me. Appreciate it. My name is Big Book, a.k.a. Ox. If you like what you heard, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. It'll let you know when I drop something else. Really would appreciate it. If you're a Lions fan, I'll be dropping something on the Lions game after the Lions play tomorrow. So look out for that too. Up until then, hey, y'all be safe and God bless.